Hi, Assalamualaikum everyone. I am Nadirah binti Muhammad Zaki.
I'm Ayani Fatini.
I am Alicia Diana Muhammad.
Students of Diploma in Corporate Administration will be presenting on space model.
The question assigned us to precisely explain one of the strategic management tools, the strategic position and action evaluation model known as the space model.
Generally, a strategy can be used when an organization matches its internal resources such as skills and opportunities. In addition, a strategy can be applied whenever an organization is facing hazards caused by external factors. There are several strategic management models in choosing the best process engineering approaches such as SWOT analysis, experience curve, break-even point model, product life cycle model, and Porter 5-factor model.
Today, we will be focusing on the strategic position and action evaluation model, or a SPACE model. It is made by Rowe etc. al. 1982. It is a strategic management tool that focuses on strategy formulation, especially related to the competitive position of an organization. The SPACE model can also be defined as a management tool for analyzing a company because it can help determine what kind of strategy a business should pursue.
In aiming to accomplish our assignment, we chose Post Malaysia Berhad, referring to the annual report in 2014 to discover the space model in their company. There are 4 main dimensions in the space model, which consist of internal factors and external factors. Generally, the internal dimensions are the factors in an organization itself. The 2 internal dimensions are financial strength and competitive advantage. Meanwhile, the external dimensions are for the factors outside of an organization itself. 2 external dimensions are industrial strength and environmental stability. The axis of the space model will represent it. These 4 elements are possibly the most critical determinants of a company's overall strategic position. The space model is known by having a graph where there is a numerical value that will measure the company's performance. For example, in terms of financial strength and environmental stability, it can be measured by having a range value from +1, which is worst, to +7, which is the best. In contrast, as for competitive advantage and industrial strength, the numerical value will be +1, but it is considered as the best, to +7, which is considered as the worst. Financial strength can be understood as an approach to the internal strength of the business. There are a lot of factors for financial strength to help the business and the company identify their power, especially in their financial business. For example, the factors that the company can find their strength on the financials include the return on investment, leverage, liquidity, working capital, and the cash flow involved in the business. These can be seen in the space model graph of Post Malaysia Berhad, where their financial strength is at an average of 6.2. This means that the financial strength factors in Post Malaysia Berhad are at outstanding and high values. It can be based on the return on investment value at 7. It also shows that PMB, Post Malaysia Berhad, has high leverage where the value is at 6. The liquidity is also at 6. Meanwhile, working capital and cash flow are also at 6. Therefore, it shows that a solid strategy helps the firm's financial strength of Post Malaysia Berhad.
Next, internal factors, IFA, also have another dimension named competitive advantage or called as CA. Competitive advantage can be a factor that allows a company to produce goods or services better than its rivals. It includes the product quality, market share, customer loyalty, and many more. As we know, competitive advantage scores are different from financial strength, which is FS, where the value of 1 is the best while 7 is the worst. For example, referring to the PNB space model graph allows their company to produce goods or services better than its rivals, including -1 in product quality. Market share is also at the 2, same goes to the score for customer loyalty where it is at 2. In addition, Pos Malaysia Berhad has also upgraded on its technological know-how, which has become a competitive advantage over its competitors at score -3, and control over suppliers and distributors is also at -3. Overall, the competitive advantage average for Pos Malaysia Berhad is at score of -2.2. It shows that the competitive advantage of Pos Malaysia Berhad is good for their company strategy, and it also shows that Pos Malaysia Berhad has the ability to perform better or differently than their competitors.
Then, I will move on to the following dimensions under external factors. In external factors, there are also two dimensions mentioned, which are industrial strength and also environmental stability. As for industrial strength, it can be understood as an opportunity for the company. It comes from a variety of outside factors from an outside organization. This is because it includes the growth and profit potential, financial stability, technological know-how, and many more. For example, the company tries to identify the number of competitors, significantly how much they earn by seeing their products, or any ways to explain their business. The industrial strength score of Pos Malaysia Berhad shows that it is slightly above average for this industry. For example, Pos Malaysia Berhad has an average score for ease of entry into the market, which is 5, where it means that Pos Malaysia Berhad has quite a lot of challenges that make their industry bigger, especially in postal or courier service.
Finally, the dimension that we must know in the space model is environmental stability. Environmental stability needed a company to be aware of the threats or changes coming from outside of their company or organization, such as new policy, regulations, current issues in the world, the technological changes, inflation rate, price elasticity demand, competitive pressure, and barriers to entry the market will get affected. Referring to the Pos Malaysia Berhad space model graph, the score for environmental stability for this industry is at -3.2. It shows that the technological changes affecting this industry are at the standard of -2. Besides, the rate of inflation is at -2. Meanwhile, the price elasticity of demand is also at -2. The competitive pressure and barriers to entry into the market are both at -5. It shows that the industry faces a very challenging moment in ensuring the stability of their company. Therefore, they need to improve their strategic management in terms of environmental stability.
Quadrant can be understood as an effect of the dimensions factors stated from the 4 dimensions themselves. 4 main quadrants frameworks identify whether a business or a company should pursue an aggressive, conservative, defensive, or a competitive quadrant that suits and is most appropriate for a company to use. For example, the space model specialty has a graph that can help the company find ways to help the organization be better in the future. The first quadrant is called an aggressive quadrant. Aggressive quadrant happens when there is a dimension between financial strength Fs and industry strength Is. These dimensions are vital because they show the factors that help the company show their strengths and be better. It is also shown that the company has its benefit in both aspects, which are internal factors and external factors. Thus, the way for the company to handle when this aggressive quadrant happens is by being more aggressive in conducting the decision to expand their business.
Secondly is the competitive quadrant. Competitive quadrant will happen when the graph expands at the right below the chart. This is because it has the dimension between industry strength and environmental stability. This means the company itself has a weak environmental factor but is vital in the industry. It is a combination of both external factors that affect their financial stability, where the company does not make a lot of profits but still has a demand for the products. So, the suggested way for this quadrant is for the company to have a vital partner in their business. This can help the company have a better financial with a solid partner to expand their business.
The third quadrant mentioned in the space model is the conservative quadrant. Conservative quadrant will happen when there is a dimension between financial strength and competitive advantage. This means that the company has stable financial, but the process or the ways of the company to produce the products, especially in the quality, does not demand the business to create. Thus, when this quadrant happens, the company needs to find a way to develop a new product or have a joint venture. Doing so will help the company to manage more demand, especially in producing the best quality of the products.
Lastly, the quadrant that has been mentioned in the space model is a defensive quadrant. Having discussed all these three quadrants, the defensive quadrant is the worst and weak quadrant. This is because it will show that all the dimensions have become poor, by means that financial strength, Fs, competitive advantage, Ca, industrial strength, Is, and also environmental stability, Es, are all weak. If the company has this quadrant, the company needs to do something for the business to succeed. First, the company may do a turnaround. A turnaround plan entails backing out or retreating from a previously erroneous decision and changing a loss making into a profitable one. Other than that, the company may make a refreshment, or lastly, by no choice, is do a liquidation, where the procedure for winding up a firm and allocating its assets to claimants.
As we need to know, the space model is the approach that has rarely been used by every company, especially in Malaysia. However, the space model is one of the strategic management models needed to measure the company's performance in having the best company strategy analysis and choice in strategic management.
I want to finish this presentation with this inspiring quote from Michael Porter. Strategy is about making choices, trade-offs. It is about deliberately choosing to be different. We sincerely appreciate your attention today. We will now be interested to hear from you with your thoughts or questions. Thank you.